Hello. It's Carson from Beloader, your favorite producer. Back at it again. Last night I recorded that video that we posted on our socials. Actually, I haven't posted it yet. I'm gonna do it later today. Of me explaining that one production thing at the end. And I had fun doing that, so pretty much all day I've been trying to make this. So I'm going to be breaking down the entire production of If My Heart Could Talk. This could take 10 minutes, this could take an hour. Who knows? You can have this on in the background, you don't have to watch this at all. I want to make it, and I want to put it out for anybody who wants to make music. This is how I do it. You don't need a crazy expensive setup. This is a cheap little mic I got for Christmas. I'm using my mom's 2013 MacBook. Um, yeah, I'm using the keyboard that I use for all my MIDI stuff is I got a used one from Guitar Center. So you don't need much to make music. You just need to make the music. It's pretty simple. Um, so this is the production for If My Heart Could Talk. That's my dog barking. Um, so I guess I'll play a little bit of it and then I'll break everything down. So, yeah.
One, two, three, four. If my heart could talk.
I'm not going to play the entire song. But, I guess we can start with the acoustic guitars. So there's this one that's all the way in your left ear. System overload. Perfect. All the way in your left ear. Right? And then one all the way in your right ear. And then there's one down the middle, and it's like this antique guitar that I got for like $20, and it's detuned and gross and not pretty, essentially. Um, but with it all, it just makes the guitars sound kind of bigger. You know? I don't know if you can tell the difference, but I can. So these are the left and right together. And then with the antique, it sounds like this. It sounds like that. I can tell a difference. Okay, cool. And then we kind of did a similar thing with the electrics. So this electric guitar down the middle, but this one's tuned. And then one on the left and one on the right. Now the reason I pan and do all this stuff and record so many guitars is because hi I like the big band aspect of it. Like I like the little imperfections you get with all the stuff. Um, yeah. So then there's this lead guitar that Jacob had to record because I'm not too good at guitar. So this is that. That's also not perfect, but I feel like the imperfections of it all is kind of like perfect together, you know? So all those together sounds like this. Sounds like this. So it doesn't really sound good out of context. But then I added this thing. And I could play you what that sounded like before I put all the effects on it. It sounded like this. with all the effects, it sounds like this. Kind of different if you ask me. Um, yeah. So, on the topic of distorted guitar stuff, there's this thing. Sorry, I'm sick. So what that is it's this Spitfire Labs uh it's just like a I don't know, like you can just play these, you can just play it on the piano essentially. This is a MIDI. So it's you play into a piano and it uses these program sounds and that's what you hear. But I like the randomness of it. I like the texture of it. Yeah. So I guess what we're talking about since there's this ARP, kind of going from ear to ear, and I discovered how to do that, and it's kind of all over the record. So yeah, that. Then these kind of 80s keys. I couldn't tell you what song I got that from. I just knew I kind of wanted something in there. And then this thing called a quirky key. It's not what it's called, it's what I named it. So that it's kind of reminiscent of like Welcome to the Black Parade by My Chemical Romance. But I like the how it's reversed and it kind of the notes kind of like go into each other. I think it's really cool. Has a nice little texture to it. And then speaking of texture, the scratchy kind of gurgly pad. It's disgusting sounding, like kind of slimy. Yeah, I don't like that one bit, but it sounds cool. I guess while we're over here, let's talk about drums. Let's talk some drums. So, we got this.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Meant to solo that. That's my bad. And that sounds kind of like the drums that you hear on the record, because it is. But my theory with drums, not my theory, what I do with drums is I get a kit. These aren't real drums. These are programmed drums, because to mic up a whole drum kit, it's a lot of money that I don't have. So this virtual drum kit, but we use the same kit. And then whatever that kit doesn't have that I want, I add with other drums. So there's this kit, and then we scroll down and we find some other stuff. So there's this fake kick, this kind of hip hop, kind of big boomy kick. Not hip hop, maybe like 90s. Oh, this says 80s, so sure, 80s kick. And that adds a lot of oomph, kind of like low end, kind of bass to the kick. And then this kick and snare, which I really like. That kick, again, just adds to the kind of boominess. This is more like attacky, like it's really like a very like kind of attacky. And then the snares I like because this first one adds a lot of that kind of shimmery, kind of metallic feel to the drums. And then the second one has that same metallic feel, but with like, I imagine like a piece of metal with like some dust, or yeah, it's like some dust on it. Um, so two different snare sounds, and I don't know. I just thought that was cool. And then another snare sound, which again is very like dusty and kind of grainy. Um, so altogether, it sounds like this. Which is just slightly different than this. You can kind of hear a difference. If you're wearing headphones, you can definitely kind of hear the quality increase. And then I also added these bongos for like percussion. They're more apparent in the. I think it's in the second verse. You can definitely hear more there. But I like them because they complement each other very well. So there's this one. And then there's just this. And that second one fills the space that this first one has. Yeah, so I thought that was pretty cool. I think that's everything. Oh, aside from the two things that not the only two things, but two of the things that Jacob did. This bass line, which let me talk. My cousin, my coworker, my best friend, Jacob, is so annoyingly talented. Like I'm mad at him for how talented he is. I said, I think this needs a kind of groovy little bass line. He came up with this bass line in 5 minutes max. And let me play you this amazing bass line he came up with. Are you kidding me? I'm actually so happy I snagged him up before anybody else could. Musically, that is. And then this Count-In, which sounds like this.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Now, I mentioned that we used a virtual drum kit. So, what I had to do to get this to sound like he was actually behind the kit is so we were in his room, but this is my room. We were in his room, and I had the setup, and say I was right here. I had him get in like the back corner. I said, like, kind of do it like 1, 2, 3, 4 in the back corner. And so we went to the back corner, and he did it, and it sounded in context with the drums. It sounds like he's kind of behind the kit.
1, 2, 3, 4.
That was what 2 takes. Yeah, I mean, good on him, man. So then we get into the. I think that's everything, and yeah, I think that's everything. Okay, we get to the verse.
If my heart could talk, would you run away? Would you rather walk, or would you rather stay? If my heart could.
Right. So I won't go over vocals yet. um, I'll wait until the end to do that. But I guess what I could do. So we have these two acoustics without the antique. So just the acoustics. And then when I was recording this, I mentioned I didn't have. Well, I don't know if I mentioned this. I didn't have. I don't have any. I don't have any electric guitars in my room. I have this antique guitar, this Epiphone, and then my first guitar is laying on the floor back there. I think it's like a Best Choice Products, I think is what it's called. It was like a $90 Amazon guitar. So I recorded the Epiphone since when I was trying to get the idea of the song down. I recorded the Epiphone through like an electric guitar amp, so it sounded like an electric guitar. And I kept it in because it added a texture that the actual electric just couldn't, and kind of like a depth. I don't know. So, sorry. Sounds like this. So that's without any effects. Let me find it. Without any effects, it sounds like this. Oh, shoot. What did I just take all the effects off of? I took it off of something. Oh, I may be in trouble. What'd I just do? I'll hear it eventually. Was it this? No, I don't know what that could have been. So without any effects, it's this. Just an acoustic guitar, but with it, it sounds like this. And with the other one, sorry, just a cool kind of washes over you in a way. And then I think the only other new thing in the verse, yeah, are these AOs. Again, maybe some of my favorite production. Sounds like this. I think they really do make the verse what it is. So without it, the reason it's called AO is because without all the effects, it is simply me saying AO. That still got some reverb on it, but I don't feel like taking all that off. But then I just put I put some delay on it, some ring shifter, some EQ, some compressor. I'll explain what all this is to you when I go over the vocals. But also I put on some, whoa, what is that? Wrong. I also pitched it. So it sounded kind of robotic. Yeah, so that's that. Then we get into the instrumental and the chorus, your favorite part of the song. If I can get it to play.
I wish my heart could talk, but we can't. And if my heart could walk, he'd faceplant.
So I mentioned I wasn't going to talk much about the vocals. But there are two things. The reason this was the snippet that we were kind of promoting was because the vocals had two things. I have to sneeze. Wait. Two things per whatever. Two things in this chorus that were kind of unique. So I wish my heart could talk, buddy. Can't. And then everything cuts out for faceplant. So let me kind of share where my mind was at on those things. Actually, I can't because Jacob's using our Spotify. But if you listen to a song by Peter McPullen, called Ceiling Fan / Piggy. I guess I could pull it up on my phone. Can you wait there? Would you mind terribly just kind of like waiting there? Oh. I already have it up. So it was this. So. Not here. But you can listen. It's a good song. Let's hear it. That tight. It's like, say something if it's feeling too tight. That was something that I don't know. I just wanted to do that honestly because it was cool. And I didn't know about delay automation. So okay, let's talk about automation. Automation here is you can automate the the volume. And I only knew about volume. I didn't know you could automate delay. So what I did is I made a separate track of just the delay. If it'll play. Ooh. I don't think it'll play. Yeah, so just a track only for that. Anyways. And then everything cuts out for Faceplant. And I'm on my phone. The idea there was from a song called The Hype Berlin by Torno Pilots. And I'll play. It's a good song. I love this song. I love this version of the song. I'll just play it for you. Sometimes I feel cold, even paralyzed, my interior world. How everything kind of cuts out. I really like that. So, though the songs are two very different vibes, I still like the everything cutting out for if it'll play.
Heat face plan.
Yeah. Just kind of giving it. I kind of imagine it like if you're filming kind of like a movie. You're kind of, it's like a crowd shot of everything. Then you zoom in on the main character, and it's kind of like, I don't know if that made any sense. Okay, moving on to the second verse. We added two new things just to kind of give it something new. And those two new things, it's this. So it's this electric piano with some cool effect on it, and it's also out of time. If it'll play. If it'll play. Like that, that's out of time. But it also has, so without the effect on it, it's this. It's this. It's not the same. So you add that, and it kind of gives it like some glitter, Then we go up here to the shaker, which is literally the last thing to touch the session. And yeah, it goes again from ear to ear, and I think this was like the last thing I put into this session. If it'll play. Yeah, it sounds like it's just going from ear to ear. Kind of quiet. I don't know if you can hear it that well.
Will he drag you down with his
barely. And then yeah, so this last chorus, let's talk vocals. So this is my lead. If it'll play. This last chorus it's never ever wanted to play. There's a breath.
If my heart could talk.
If my heart could what? Talk? Were you saying talk? You know the part. So what I have on my vocal is some things. I'm not 100% what noise gate is. I think I'm not 100% sure. De-esser, because a lot of times my S's are very like in your face, so I had to duck those down. EQ, EQ is the dynamic range. So let's look at this. This isn't correct. This is not how anybody, like if you're wanting to learn how to produce, don't do this. This is what this very specific song needed to get the vocals to really cut through right. So this all here, right here, is like your lows, like your bass. This right here is like the mids. So in like old music and like old movies, the speakers at the time didn't have really anything, but they didn't have the power to do the very like low like bass and also this high end, which is kind of like your very shiny stuff. So it only had mids. So that's what this is, and then your high end. So absolutely no bass, a good chunk of mids, and then a bunch of highs to really get it to like cut through. And then compressor, which the best way I can put word compressor, or I guess how I got it like taught to me, was it squashes the dynamic range. Did I just say that for EQ? I'm not 100% sure. But the range of volume, so it could be loud like this, or it could be kind of like further kind of quiet like this. It just keeps it up here. Instead of kind of like moving around like that, it just keeps it up here. And I do get kind of energetic and carried away when I record vocals, and I kind of do a little like back and forth, so I really need to use some compressor to keep it keep me on track. Then Space Designer, which is just reverb, and then pitch correction, because I'm just because I don't need it. I'm a pretty good singer, but what I use pitch correction for is to stabilize my voice, because it can get a little like shaky and kind of wobbly. So I just need something to kind of like stabilize. And then so there's a lead vocal, one left, and one right. And then a double. Let's see if I can play any of these for you. We'll play those. No, it won't. And then a harmony. And then me like singing it low. Will these play? Probably not. Yeah. And then what I did is I took the lead vocal and I pitched it down to kind of add more bass. So yeah, that's the vocals, and then let's get to the outro. Whoa, that was weird. I'm sorry it didn't let me play any of that. Outro, it's these two electric guitars. This key thing, which ends up being the last sound you hear. This track called Lunch Chatter, which I already broke down in that TikTok. Oh, that's supposed to have... Is that what I took all the effect off of? Probably. That's supposed to have that. But I can say it again. This is my friend Aubrey. I took a voice memo of us at lunch and put it in a song, pitch it up, add a reverb, and it sounds like this. Sounds like this. So without any of the stuff, it sounds like this.
Oh shoot, I just replayed a snap.
She just replayed a snap. Yeah, and then the organ, and then the AOs, and then this ARP. So that ends up being... Yeah, so that's If My Heart Could Talk. That's the production of If My Heart Could Talk. Fun to produce, fun to explain. There's a lot of stuff coming soon, so subscribe here. Follow us on our socials at Beloiter Music everywhere. Yeah, we got a bunch of stuff coming out. Some exciting stuff to announce soon. Yeah, that's it. Thank you. Have a blessed day. And I love you.